All right. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of To Live and Buy in LA is the play. Okay. With my co-host over here, the Jewish Willy Wonka. Show off his jacket. It's like a grape. It's like a grape snatch and sniff. What is it called? That's definitely not snatch and sniff.
It's scratch and sniff.
Scratch and sniff.
My child.
You're like a grape scratch and sniff. It's really hard to say. But I'm excited to be here with you. I got to tell you, you give off great energy. And I just want you to know that to start the show.
I feel like you should start these off in a sweet way moving forward. It really helps my mindset going into it.
Okay. I can look, I lie for a living. It's, I story tell. Everyone wants a story told about their lives. I always say that. And we're no different. You don't want to know what your boring life is like normally. You want me to amp it up, give you characters and villains. That's what we all want. Welcome to the show. Today, we are going to discuss a lot of things. Namely,
we're doing a Q1 check-in. So we're at that point of the year where people start kind of getting a little lackadaisical with their resolutions. So how are yours going?
I'm glad you brought it up. You know, I got to say what I'm excited most about is my resolutions this year have been stronger than ever.
Okay.
Don't ask me what they are because I forgot from day 2. What I do know, you make a bunch of resolutions like, oh, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to exercise. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff. But really what I have been doing consistently for the past, since New Year's, and that's a lot of days,
many days,
that I have done the same thing. And for me, you know how tough it is to follow protocol. I have been meditating every morning.
Okay.
Without fail, haven't missed.
I mean, I would say that I think the reason why your consistency with the New Year's resolutions in the past has waned. I mean, think about it. They named January 17th Ditch Your Resolution Day for a reason. I mean, you're not alone. Most people, a few weeks in, past the excitement of the new year, they lose steam. And I think it's likely because you and they do not have a connection to their why.
Their what?
Their why.
Why what?
No, their why.
I know, to who's on first bit.
Oh, am I part of these jokes? You just the train leaves the station.
I thought you knew something about great historical comedy, but I'm surprised it's by the 17th. I'm out by the 4th usually. I'm like 3-4 days in. I am maxed out on my resolutions. This is why I feel so great about this year. But you mention this why quite often, and I literally I listen to, you know, I've done a study, 6% of everything you say, and that's something that's stuck. And it's something I search for, and it's really hard to identify.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I would say that because we do this on our team every year, like when we business plan, like we always really load back into the why.
Your softball team?
My team of real estate agents. Okay. So what I would say is that some people get a little bit of analysis paralysis. Like they're like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. When like, look, you can just pick one and it can change. It can change over time. But like, let me give an example. I came back from Italy last year on the chubbier side, and I didn't like what I saw. I was pretty chubby. I immediately started with a trainer in October, and I was feeling it. I was feeling good. I started to look chubby minus.
Is that a new thing? Hashtag chubby minus.
I was chubby minus.
You started to look ripped.
Yeah, so basically I was like, I'm going to keep rolling with this goal into the new year resolution. I'm going to do like 88 personal training sessions for the year. But what I realized is now that I'm, we're coming to the close of Q1, it's not fun anymore. It's not exciting. It's a grind. The weights have gone up. The reps have gone up. It's not fun. The trainer comes over. I'm bummed. So I think what I'm trying to get to here is that to be consistent, you have to have a fire that is burning the consistency. It has to be the fuel of the consistency engine And I think the only way to be consistent over time through the doldrums, through the days you're not feeling it, is to have a very specific why.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that goes pretty deep because, like, you're obviously very structured. You must be driven by a why. You're consistent with golf, right? You work on your swing constantly through measured analytics, right? You work on your business, growing your team with consistent development exercises, role play, accountability practices. So I figure that if you do that with great discipline, either you were born an extremely disciplined person or your why drives you to do that. So you must have an incredibly strong why.
I mean, yeah, I think that I was tired of having years that had like similar success. And I do really feel that the opportunity is on the other side of the discomfort. Like, real estate agents know what they have to do every day, but they don't do it. They know the exact thing they need to do to get over the hump consistently. And then they find all these different reasons why they're not going to do it. And I was like that too. So I started exploring this more deeply. And because I didn't have something to really push me, I wasn't doing it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get something that really, really pushes me. So, like, for example, you've decided to be consistent with meditation. You said this is the best it's ever been for you. You're the most clear. What fueled that?
I think I made a lot of changes at the end of last year, coming to the agency, knowing that I wanted to explore my creative side much more and apply that in the real estate world. And I needed to dig deeper to find it. My why, like when I've thought about it, is really monetary related. Like I know I've said that to you before and you don't like it, but hold on.
Freeze.
Hold yourself right there, pal. No. My why is like motivated financially. Like I want to be financially solvent. I want my family to be taken care of. I want my kids to be able to go out into the world and be able to create freely things that the world is missing and needs rather than working for money to survive. So for me, it's like my why is like, I want that financial freedom.
No, I feel you, but it's kind of like when I talk to an expired seller. They're like, this is the way it works. I've bought and sold many homes.
These are old-time sellers, huh?
Yeah, the people I solicited, they're very
Listen
like
here, see?
they're like a Groucho Marx. Like,
There's no way you're getting my listing,
listen,
see?
yeah.
We should do this podcast like this. So today, we're talking about your why. Okay.
So what I would say is that I always say to them, look, that sounds really smart, and I would take your word for it, but your house didn't sell. So if you are saying if you're saying, hey, that my why is these things, and I've struggled with consistency, and I quit all my resolutions in 2023 on day 4, except for meditation, I would say maybe hear my advice on the why being strictly monetarily related.
Okay. Well, so what is that? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. You talk a good game, and I buy it. What is your why?
Okay, there's like an asterisk to this.
Whoa, there's a kink in the armor here. Can we cut?
At this exact moment, I don't have a why.
Wow. You don't have a why, so what is driving you every day? You seriously don't have a why? I thought it was one point was to like take care of your parents.
Okay. You want the goods here? The truth is that for a while, my why was driven by avoiding pain. I wanted to get to a point where I could support my parents, where I didn't feel any resentment and I didn't feel any financial pressure. But during the breakup of my last relationship, my ex-girlfriend, while telling me a lot of things that were wrong with me, told me that I was not getting to the best version of myself because my why was about other people versus my why being about my happiness. So for so long,
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of deep and like it kind of threw me off track.
And she's
a
like,
bit.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm out.
And I'm taking the dogs.
She did take the dog.
She had a weird New Jersey accent, too.
But the truth is so I've been kind of in this weird spot because in truth, I do have all of this. It's really hard to get me. My phone number's not anywhere. My email's not on the MLS.
Pretty good for a realtor.
I delegate everywhere, everything. So I'm very insulated on purpose. But the truth is, when I'm out or trying to enjoy myself, I'm not being present. I'm thinking about business, and it really did give me some thought about maybe adjusting my why. So yes, I'm kind of in like a why transitional period right now.
That's, by the way, bold of you, to be honest, because usually you're so full of shit that I have no idea what, the reality of the realtor is. No, I'm kidding. Obviously you're very transparent, and I appreciate that because like I am like literally I think I know my why and I'm struggling to find it. When I meditate, I think, and I'm going to really apply myself moving forward here to identifying my why. And I think I know, but this is making me think deeper about it. So it's almost like what you mentioned something about pain being a factor. So it's sort of like what you're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. It may be more about what you have to lose than what you have to gain.
For some people, I think a lot of people make it about what they have to gain. But I'm saying like if that's not working, it should be about something that maybe you'll lose or experience as a reminder. Let me give you a quick example. So one of the highest producing agents on my team, she said one year that her why was that she wanted to buy a house by the end of the year. And I said, that is incredibly specific, which you want a why to be. It should be very, very, very specific. But the thing is that if she didn't buy the house at the end of the year, it's not like she was going to be homeless. So what I generally like, and look, Tony Robbins says, people avoid pain more than they seek to attain pleasure. So I find that the whys that back you into a corner or put your ass on the line, those tend to be the most effective.
Right, that kind of circles back to our New Year's resolutions. When you asked, a few months ago, why it takes something monumental like this to move you into our resolutions. Why don't we just start on a random Wednesday night in March? The fact is we need, as humans, emotional triggers.
Totally need emotion.
So this is like the New Year's, the birthdays. That's why we're more emotional on our birthdays, Valentine's Day, whatever it is. You need the why. To push you, to motivate you. This is like really finding your why. I think I feel like most people don't even think about it.
Look, the truth is like people see my success and your success, but I'm speaking only for myself right now from my perspective. They don't understand the grind that I do and the prospecting, let's say. That's kind of becoming like what I'm known for, at least in our community as a prospector. And the thing is you think I want to get up every day, even though let's make an argument that I'm good at it. It's working for me. Do you think I want to get up and do that every day? Does it feel luxurious to me? I'm on a show, and yet I'm still cold calling people, seeing if I can provide them a solution. It's not something I want to do. I want there to be incoming calls. But the thing is that I have the things that are important to me up on a board in my home office and gym, and it says consistency is king. Have you set an appointment today? I have these constant reminders up because otherwise it's just so easy in the day to forget about it in the micro, So I do think that if someone wants change, if someone wants to upgrade, particularly their business or even their personal life, they need to show up. Showing up, i.e. consistency, requires a purpose. Like, for example, you don't have to go to, people will skip going to the gym because they're tired. You don't have to crush it every single time, but you do got to show up. And that's what I think the why does.
Right. It motivates you to show up.
When you need some motivation, sometimes you need it.
He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how.
Was that a haiku?
That is not mine. That is Nietzsche's.
Oh.
I always remember that, and I'm going to start thinking about it a lot more often. But you're right. To go to the gym consistently, you need the why. Is the why because you want to have a better body so more chicks will be attracted to you? or dudes, relax yourself. Is it to feel better about yourself? Is it to motivate you to just feel better in your life, and it transforms to your mental state?
Yeah.
So you can run your business
That's it
better?
for me. I'm work out because not only, I mean, yes, I want to look good, but it's more about feeling good so I can slay dragons every day. That fits into my overall why and my strategy to serve the why, and here's the one thing I will say, because I deal with this with some of the newer agents on my team that will find themselves feeling imposter syndrome. If you're waiting for motivation to do the hard thing, if you're waiting for it to strike that day when you're ready to either pick up the phone or turn the camera towards you and create content, whatever it may be, that motivation will never come. I will say it again. The motivation will never come unless you take massive action. Only through massive action does inspiration strike. It is never, ever, ever the other way around. And that's why I say to be able to do the action, the why becomes that motivating driver.
How would you encourage people to help identify their why?
I would first say...
And by people, I mean me.
What I would first do is... this is just my recommendation, okay? I would say go back to a point in your life where you overcame obstacles or it was a big milestone in your life where you decided to make a change and you did it. You grinded, you put your head down, whatever it was. And I would look at what were the contributing factors to press you through that milestone. Like I said before, for me, I had to get out of hospitality. So I was working in real estate during the day. I was working dinners at night, but I was doing everything I could. I would not fail. I needed to get out. But for me, by the way, it was continuing down that path. But what I'm saying is when I look at what I did there, I was not taking no for an answer. And that's because that why was so specific and so strong. So I'd say go back in your life, look at a moment like that and see if there's a way where you can effectively back yourself into a corner.
Wow.
And then create that strategy again. Like, what's the word? Like, how do you recreate those high stakes conditions?
Yeah. Well, that's very Tony Robbins-ish too, to know that you've been in that situation and you've thrived, so you know you can get there again. Now it's digging deeper to figure out how you got there, what motivated you to get there. My advice would be to lose everything. And then, people who come from the streets.
But it's true.
People who come from the streets who have reached huge levels of success have done it out of necessity.
Yeah,
Their drive has been, I don't want to live like this anymore.
They were poor, hungry, or desperate. Those people always like that. But that movie with Will Smith, right?
And
Happiness.
With
What is it?
Anna Nicole Smith?
No, that movie. What's it called? The Something
I've seen
of Happiness.
a couple of those, but I don't think they had much of a purpose.
Yeah, I think what was that movie with Will Smith? The Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, where he's homeless. They're hungry, desperate, and he was like, I'm going to be number one in the office. He's making his calls.
He goes up to the chick who's homeless, and the guy who's homeless, he goes, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth."
So
I remember that scene.
It was different. That was a different
Everyone
show.
stopped, by the way. What's going on here? Look, I think it seems like that's really serious advice. I think what I'm going to do with this is I am going to add it to my meditation practice even more. I'm going to think about it while I'm meditating. By the way,
you're not supposed to do that while you're meditating. Thoughts are supposed to come in and you let them pass through. It's not a time for introspection.
Meditation class?
It's a time to rest your mind.
Well, I'll tell you what I do. I think while I'm resting my mind, I spend some of the time focusing on what I want to achieve and how I'm going to achieve it. I also stretch
Sounds
while
like you're
I meditate.
planning. Dude, this is not meditation.
Yeah, it is. I stretch while I meditate. Here's another fun fact that people don't believe. I do sit-ups every night as I brush my teeth. That did not look like brushing teeth. I did not. Yeah, that's your version,
That's
kid.
what you're doing.
We have different social
I
lives.
sit up while brushing my teeth.
Yeah, well, I have an electric toothbrush, so it's very different. Oh my God! Look, it seems we both need to think a little deeper in order to identify our true whys. And I think these emotional triggers that alter our moods from day to day will be flushed out more. identifying our whys. I'm a little excited, I gotta say, a little scared, a little timid as well.
A little excited.
But I am excited to move forward with this. And whether you tell me that's not the way I'm supposed to meditate, I am going to meditate on it. And I'll come back to you 3 episodes down the line, and we'll see if our whys are further identified.
I want you to imagine this right now, okay? Just for this exercise before we wrap up on the why for today. I want you to really think about this, okay? I want you to think about what this conjures in your mind and in your body physically, okay? You have had an amazing year. You've worked really hard. You have sold another listing that is like the Enchanted Hill. You've doubled up. You've got it. You're driving a really nice car. You know, you've sold your home in Deep Canyon, and you've moved a little bit less down the hill on Benedict.
Oh, get to the point.
I want you. Your kids are doing well. They're playing tennis at the club. They're playing golf.
They will have no motivation to find any whys the way I'm raising them.
So
they're going to watch this.
Entitled bastards. But okay, so now just lock that in. You have that feeling in place? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now conversely, what I want you to really think about and imagine is you have lost your home. You've had to pull your kids out of the current school they're in and really disrupt what's going on for them in school, their social relationships, their friends. Jen has to close her dancing school, which is a new location is being built out at the floor.
I can't sit in this space anymore. It's too dark.
Okay, but you see how that propelled you out of that. You see the difference between avoiding the pain versus attaining the nice things, the nice watch. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but what I am saying is that if the attaining things hasn't worked for you, there's got to be a way where you can back yourself into a corner and imagine this darkness to propel you forward with a tenacity and hunger to get you over these milestones that you have imposter syndrome or analysis paralysis, whatever it is. Because I heard this funny thing when Howard Stern was interviewing Seinfeld. He said to him, it's growth. You're never ready for it. That's why it's called growth.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I mean, you're making me think that my why not may be stronger than my why.
Maybe.
I work better backed against a corner. So I think if I can mentally put myself against a corner, I know that I thrive. So there's a lot to think about today.
How about when you gamble playing golf? When you're not, you're like,
100%.
But when you have something to lose, all of a sudden you're like dialed in. It could be a $2 skin.
By the way, you owe me $16.
By the way, it could be a $2 skin.
This is too dark. I've got too much to think about, but I'm scared and excited to move forward. How about that?
Okay, great. Me too.
I love this.
Me too.
I think we accomplished a lot today.
I think so too. I think it should help people get re-energized to finish out the year.
Finish out the year. We got a ton of space left this year.
No, I just mean to
finish
really
out their lives. You never know what could be over.
You know what I mean. So you want to take us out?
I think we did. I'm super excited to live for today, tomorrow, every day moving forward. I'm excited to dig and find my why. I am. What do you want from me?
Take us out.
You take us out.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of To Live and Buy in Los Angeles. This is at Zach Goldsmith 24. I am at Ben Bellac. You can find us everywhere on the internet, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Where else? Everywhere. Apple. We will see you next week.
Super bien.